Are you familiar about the term resourceful influencing? Give me a thumbs up if you know. Do you know how to influence at workplace if you are a resourceful person? If no, then give a thumbs down. And thank you so much for responding. And here are the three things that you will be getting in the next 90 minutes or so, whatever time I speak. That you will get your context why you are chosen to be doing this particular thing. The second thing is your growth, and the third will be your influence, right? That is what we are aiming for. Now, so many people I see, they are in very responsible position. They are holding very senior position. They are very knowledgeable, yet they lack the dream and conviction and the courage to make a big difference. Sometimes it is lack of the conviction about the reality. The current reality is not according to what they are ultimately supposed to be doing. So the reality will change in no time. Can you believe that? So if you start acting according to your conviction, your dream, then the reality will give way. You will find your roadmap, and those are the very simple thing that I want to tell the leaders of the day. And why this conviction in me, why I am trying to tell people, find out people, that this is a new way of finding out other leaders in the world who can make a difference, because it is very difficult to impact largely to a huge population unless there is a multiplicity in our effort, each of our effort. So alone I cannot do. That is as simple as that, because in the last 12 years I have done very huge significant projects, at least 5 I can name them. And I have impacted about a crore of lives. I have trained 18,000 people, with with the help of whom I could impact 1 billion people. The most significant of them being turning a food scarce pocket in eastern Madhya Pradesh to a food surplus area, where the livelihood is thriving at the moment. While 4 years back in 2011, this was done in 2011 to 2015. In 2011 it was a food scarce pocket, and it was a remote area. These were eight villages, fringe villages of Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, and people didn't have any source of livelihood except to depend on the forest for their livelihoods. So casualties were happening. There was a tiger attack on many people, and lives were being lost. And that is when the intervention started. And I started with just 500 households. That is also huge. That was approximately 7,500 lives, But subsequently in the area, I spread my operation into 6 districts and into 10 projects, impacting at least uh, at least about 50,000 lives. More than that, 1 lakh, 1 lakh farmer families, which is 5 lakh lives, right? So, if that was done in a span of say only 4 years, and in the process we had developed a, a federation of ladies, illiterate women, who could generate 36 lakhs of purpose in just 4 years time. And from the like say, the house dwelling. They were housebound ladies from the ladies of the board of the federation's board, and who won 17 awards to their credit, and also they could reach out to anybody and everybody in the district. They were member of the district governing board in the district that is happening and convened by the collector. It was as big as that, right? If we can do that within 4 years of time, like say the slogan which says that 70 years India could not progress much, that doesn't hold any water for me, because I have proven it myself in 4 years of time. I agree that situations will be very different in different places, but I have worked in almost 16 states of the country, and in 16 states I have done at least 5 projects which were huge and which includes 1 crore of population, which were impacted positively. And this was in say almost 12 years of time. So my recent project being the affordable housing project in Puri, where it is a disaster prone area, where almost 50% of population of Orissa gets affected every year. And I have started working on affordable housing for economically weaker section, and economically weaker section people are everywhere in India, and they get affected by several vulnerabilities, several emergencies happening in their life, and they are still poor. At least 37% of India's population are severely, extremely poor, right? If one person's endeavor can inspire 18,000 people so far, and can take things to this far to impact their lives in hugely positive way, then suppose a team of say 1,000 people also come up, then we can make uh, a huge difference globally, because out of the 6 billion population that the world has, we can safely assume that 50% of them are still hungry, right? So it is not about hunger alone, it is about education, health, and other amenities also. That is why the sustainable development goals have been planned. So how these successful achievers can be figured out? What are their characteristics? Or if you are starting from today, how can you be a successful achiever, fulfilled achiever? Because it is not about only money, it is about fulfillment as well. You need to have the satisfaction out of what you do. Otherwise, you will not be there for a sufficient amount of time. Unless you have that time to invest for other people, while doing that, if you are not enjoying this, then you will not be in this work and in this endeavor, and you will not achieve this goal. So let me tell you how you can start the journey of these successful, fulfilled achievers. First is to say no. So when you say no, you have time to read, learn, sleep, ask questions, contact friends. So say no more. And you have also the possibility, less possibility to be born out. You know, when you do consistent work, and you are not giving yourself time to further develop, then very likely that you will not achieve success, you will not achieve the most of that you are capable of. The second is second characteristic is to love. This is the only religion that we have. This is the only thing worth surrendering to. This is the fuel for your idea missile. The more you love, the more you accept the other people's opinion, the more. ideas you will get. Everybody is capable of giving idea. They say it to be advice. We say that we are good at giving advice, but from every advice we can generate one idea, right? And unless we give ourselves time, we will not we cannot discern the idea from the advice. Make mistakes. You should not be afraid of making mistakes. Unless you try, there will not be success. There is as much possibility of making mistakes, but from mistakes we need to learn. Unless we make mistakes, unless we take the first step, there will not be success. So, in the process, there is also a possibility of making mistakes. Every mistake will lead to a success. So, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Make mistakes. That is the characteristic of a fulfilled achiever. Fourth is plant seeds. 1% of seeds turns into 50% of the flowers, plants, and lots of seeds. So, why seed? Because these are the ideas also. Apart from the real seeds that you plant, whatever seeds you have, seed, suppose 1 kilo of seed, 1% of that, even if you have that, and in your area, surrounding places, wherever you can plant, you can have the greenery. Greenery is the symbol of hope and possibility. So plant those seeds wherever possible. Like, say, whatever I am doing right now is planting a seed into your mind. So if you are listening to this, then know that I am planting a seed of a possibility, of a hope. Half of it you might not believe to be possible, but in any case, just give it a thought. That also is okay, because that will generate itself into a plant ultimately, according to your own soil, your own garden. Be around people who are kind to you and love you. Other people will make you unhappy, unkind, and unsuccessful. So people who are giving you some idea, some uh, who appreciate you for whoever you are, be around them so that your energy, your vibration goes up higher. It builds up your confidence, right? So if you are around the negative people, then obviously your energy will go down and they will find out a fault in you despite your success. See, there will be people, I won't say that all the people are like that, but there will be people who will find it. They have the tendency to find a fault even if you are hugely successful. And everybody tends to have something negative in in him or her. So if you trust that, then you are nowhere. So don't be around those people. Sixth is stand next to the smartest person in the room. So all of them are not smart themselves. So the person, actually, I keep forgetting his name, who made this Xerox machine very popular. When Thomas Alva Edison made this, nobody was buying it. And this person, I keep forgetting his name, and I'm sorry about that. This person had a dream to work along with Thomas Alva Edison. Do you know? And he didn't have any credentials, any education, any qualification at all to be a partner of Thomas Alva Edison, and that was his dream. It was as impossible as that. Thomas Alva Edison was a uh, popular person even during those times. So when he dreamt it, he just came to Thomas Alva Edison's office and asked for some work. And he got a work, whatever work he got, he was into it. And when Thomas Alva Edison, and he waited for an opportunity, right? So this opportunity presented. So he didn't know when he had this dream that he will get an opportunity to be a business partner to Thomas Alva Edison. He just had a dream. He didn't have any idea about what Alva Edison is was going to produce. So this Xerox machine came about, and he saw the potential and he made it popular. We know before the computers came, Xerox machines were very very popular, and nobody. When Thomas Alva Edison tried selling it, nobody could see value, but this person could show the value in the people, and he became the business partner of Thomas Alva Edison. So it was an impossibility, a dream of a dream which was conquered. The next characteristic that you can have within you is no excuses. No matter what, whatever, suppose you have decided something in the morning that you will be doing, don't give any excuse to you about not doing that. Try as much. Sometimes it will be impossible to do whatever you have done. So make peace with yourself if that is extremely impossible. But even if there is this slightest chance of taking it up that day and finishing it off, then please do. Blaming is draining. Complaining is draining. Explaining is draining. We don't have enough inner plumbing for all that drain. When we give excuses, we cannot check this energy drain that will happen when we start giving excuses. We blame something, we blame time, we blame um, the weather, people. We complain about something, we complain and explain why we couldn't do. That is draining, energy drain. So there cannot be enough of plumbing that can be done to check this energy drain. So stop excuse. Don't be in a rush. When you rush, what happens is you will miss the process. Process is as important as the result. Right? The goal, the destination is as important as the journey. Every overnight success I have spoken to took 10 to 20 years to get there. Every success takes that time, but only if they celebrated small successes along the way. So every big success that we come to know has small successes along the journey. So do you realize that unless you have everyday successes, you cannot suddenly someday you cannot be successful. So everyday successes are what? You completed a small task every day. That is a success and that is a win. That is a victory which you can celebrate. So how do you keep record of that? That can be recorded with a gratitude journal. You can record whatever you have achieved this day, and you teach yourself, train yourself to be a person, a fulfilled person every day. So fulfillment doesn't come suddenly one day. It happens across along the journey, right? So you start being fulfilled from today, from this minute, by achieving small victories. Whatever victory happens, whether you do, whether it happens to you, or something magical appears in your circumstance, every day these magics are happening. If you just observe, right? Solve solve difficult gratitude problems. If you can find a diamond in the mud, you are going to end up with a lot of diamonds in life. Sorry. This means what? Even if every day, suppose it is a hugely disappointing day today, and at the end of the day, if you have to write a gratitude journal which will not have anything negative, what will you do? You have to find out something positive about today's happening. So, just 5 minutes before, you have labeled this day as a very frustrating day. Now, while writing it down, you have to make it a positive day. What do you do? See, every failure is either a lesson, either a blessing, or a gift. Everything helps us to achieve whatever. The same mistakes cannot be repeated, right? Once you know that this is the way to fail, you won't repeat that failure another time, right? Isn't that a gift? Isn't that a blessing? And because of that failure, if you have received something, some criticism, then you know how to handle that criticism as well. You don't allow yourself to be reactive, right? So you know how to take criticism as well, which builds your personality. Isn't that a gift? Isn't that a blessing? 10th is Warren Buffett's 5-25 rule. Make a list of the 25 things you want to do in life. Now do the top 5 and never think about the other 20 ever again. Else, they will take time away from the 5 things that are most important to you. So, this is another thing of which you can do with your things which are bothering you also. Suppose there are 30 things those are bothering you. What you can do is just give them some grading 1 to 30. So first list out 20, 200. So people actually they are bothered about 200 things. They think so, but actually what happens is there are only 5 to 6 elements they really are bothered with. And the same thing with your core values also. When you say you value these, that there are 200 values, you can list down, but under the most trying circumstance, which are the values you will stick to in a crisis? Which are the most 5 important values which you will stick to? List that down. It is very easy. Once you list down all those and then grade them, then the top 5 will remain there. That will show you which are absolutely non-negotiable, and all the time that will stick to you. It is so it is true about the achievement also. What are the 5 most important achievements that you want to have in life? So think about those 5 only. These are the 5s which will make you fulfilled. Others will not. So others achievements will be there for others, not for you. So what you do or achieve for others don't fulfill you. So stick to what fulfills you. Then write down 10 ideas a day. When I tried writing these 10 ideas, there were not many ideas. All the time, we think that there are many ideas playing in our mind. Those play in our mind because we don't write them down every day. If you write them down, then there will not be more than again 5 to 6 ideas. But if you synthesize along those ideas, if you try to describe those ideas, you will see that whatever way you have thought of initially those ideas will not be like that. There will be many form of those ideas. So when when Krishna says that do the work, don't expect the result, don't think about the outcome. What he tries to say is there will be many more ways of fulfillment. Unless you know that this will be the ways of those fulfillment coming, then you will not be able to discern those fulfillment, those successes. So suppose you have the money factor. Right now everybody talks about money, right? So suddenly you win a lottery and you get money. Is that the way you are thinking, that you will become rich? The other people who are thinking they will be doing something huge, which will be hugely successful, and they will be earning the money. Is that the way you are thinking? Maybe that is the rough idea that you are thinking, but when you go through the way, you will feel fulfilled. The whatever you are doing, you are acting, and the most useful five things that you have listed down, when you execute those, there will be a pattern of those things. uh, I'm sorry I'm not able to give you an example, but think about something which will give you success, right? And write down in which way it will bring success to you. You will see that things are not happening exactly that same way, but in their own way. And you have to allow those possibilities also, because things, the human mind, the way we think and uh, kind of outline our success is not foolproof. So, what we tend to do is we give signals to our subconscious mind in several other ways also, which we don't realize. So, what happens is, if you believe in this subconscious thing and the play of the mind, then what happens is, whatever signals we give, the most intent that we are on anything, that signal will go to the subconscious mind and it will accordingly formulate the success pattern, which will not be known to your conscious mind. So be open to all those possibilities as well. So how that will be possible? If you write down those 10 ideas or elaborate the way you think. So some people have written, like say, they will be living in a very good house in a very good locality, right? They have even named the localities in their journal, right? What happens is, they will be either living in a house like that, or they will be buying a house in that locality. So if you don't outline in which way you are going to be living in that house, then the subconscious takes this hint and acts according to the possibilities that is there, right? So suddenly you will be put into a situation where you need to shift or buy, right? So be open to those ideas. These ideas will be presented to you to take a decision. So unless you are prepared for those eventualities, you are not going to act, right? Sitting in the same place and thinking about living in a better place will not happen, no. Obviously, one needs to take action. So write those down so that you will be prepared, better prepared for that eventuality. The next is follow up. Suppose you are expecting something. You have asked for something. Suppose you have asked for a glass of water and this person has forgotten to bring that. Unless you ask twice, you are not going to get that water. So, so be habituated to follow up. Many people don't follow up on work, on a request, or anything, whatever they have been expecting, right? Unless you follow up, it might be missed, might get missed. Ask questions. There are many questions than answers. Opportunities are buried in the questions. Facts can be outsourced, right? So ask as many questions as possible. So whenever you are thinking something, you think that there is no question, even then try asking that assumption also. When you think that you understand everything, then also you think, because you will be asking for the sake of other people also, the other people who understood things perfectly, or they have asked something, you are listening to those things. Why then? For example, religion, right? You understand that all religions are equal, right? Everybody understands that all religions are equal, and every religion says the same thing. You understand that, right? And everybody also understands the same thing. Then why so much differences about religion then? Can you not ask that? You'll be surprised to see that these differences happen because of our own upbringing, right? The way we have thought about many things, that those differences make the interpretation of religions different for different people. The the way we have been brought up, the way we have treated by society because of our circumstances or societal values, right? Those things come to play when we interpret religion. This is one example only. It is not about religion alone. This is just one example where everybody understands everything, yet there is difference in the interpretation. 1% a day. Suppose you are not able to do, suppose you are able to do every day something better than yesterday, then fine. Otherwise, what you can do is every day do something 1% better than yesterday. That will make your graph upward curve, right? So obviously it will not be a horizontal curve, it will not be a stagnation, it will be a growth curve, right? So a practice this 1% better than yesterday. Right now, regret will waste time today worrying about yesterday, and anxiety will steal energy from the future. Focus on right now. You cannot do anything about past, right? You don't have control over the future. So what will happen if you keep worrying about past and future? Nothing, right? You will lose your present time, this present minute also. So focus on right now, whatever is at hand. Just focus on that. Make the best of it so that you will forget the future. The past is not in control, it has already happened. Nothing to do with it, but you can do something about your future. If you correct your present, do most about the present, then your future has a possibility to be better, right? Sleep. Some people, because of worry, they don't sleep. But sleep rejuvenates the brain cells, heals the body, reduces anxiety, and your brain is only active 2 to 5 hours a day. So allow yourself to sleep. The other time you are just doing routine work, whatever your brain decides for 2 to 5 hours a day. The rest of the time you are just following up with your brain, whatever your brain has decided. So don't torture your brain into extra work. Allow it to rest, allow it to sleep. Every day avoid death. You can't get rich from a hospital bed or a grave. Move every day, sleep well, eat well. Right? while while you are healthy, while you are alive, you can make a difference. Otherwise not. If you are not healthy, if you are not living, you are not making a difference, right? So while you are alive, make a difference. Do one thing every day you loved as a kid. So this is be a childlike person. Whatever childlike thing is there inside you is the possibility of dreaming something very, very unreal. And that is very essential. That is why I keep on pressing people that even if there is the thing is not reality today, it will be a reality tomorrow, subjected to your own effort today, right? So when I started all those projects, there was no possibility. Nobody thought that it will be possible, but those became possible because a group of people persisted doing that, right? Unless action is taken with a positive mind, the mind thinks, dreams, and is convinced that it is possible. Unless the mind thinks, you cannot act. So think it to be positive and start acting, and that is helped if you are childlike. Just 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 be optimistic, be childlike, start acting in that direction. Even if people will say, people will criticize you for being childlike, but be playful. Do believe in possibilities. Possibilities happen all the time if you believe, only if you believe. And a child is the only person, only mindset of a child believes in everything possible. Not possible as everything possible or not possible, he thinks that everything is possible, right? Unless we have a mind like that, the dreams are not going to be created. Hope this helps you to start being a fulfilled achiever. And if you like this video, then please do like this video and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you. And do participate in my webinar, which is happening on Tuesday, every Tuesday and Saturday, barring few, about which I'll be telling you. Thank you.